Hi, welcome back to Tyrrell's Reef, part 1. So, today I'll be reviewing Modern Reef. I'll be refilling the dosing containers behind there. Now, I've been using Modern Reef for about 3 months now with some positive results, which I'll go through with you later. I'm going to be starting Reef Elixir and Polyp Pop, which I've just started dosing. And we're going to see how we go. That'll be in the part 2 videos. See how we go with coloration, polyp extension, which I'm lacking at the moment. So hopefully it'll sort that out. And yeah, we'll go from there. So as I said, I've been using the Modern Reef 7.7 for a while now. I did use behind here is the blue one. Now the difference between the blue Modern Reef and the black Modern Reef, that is more concentrated. So if you have a very high demand tank, I've got a 600 litre tank with mainly SPS fully stocked out. I've got my frag tank out here. Now I was dosing about when this was absolutely stocked out, that was stocked out, and my 600 litre was overgrowing. I was dosing 200 millilitres of the blue tubs, which are less concentrated. After buying the 7.7, which is really concentrated, you can't dose 7.7 if you haven't got the demand on corals on your tank. So I went ahead and bought the 7.7, and I went down from roughly 200 millilitres of this stuff of Modern Reef. Using the 7.7, I went down to around 140 millilitres a day. And then when I had all my big cutting back of the frags of the corals, sorry, in the 600 litre tank in the main house, and I got rid of all my frags in here, I am now down to 75 millilitres a day. That's on this stuff. This stuff, if you've got very high demand, this really makes a difference, having the potent Modern Reef. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to fill these smaller containers up. I've kept these up here basically because I want to save space. I've got a very small area here, and these fit very nicely up here. So I'm going to, one at a time. What you want to do is, if you are doing this, you've got the smaller containers and you're not dosing straight from here, is I would put these in order. So what you want to do is get these in order. So you've got your KH1, your KH2, calcium, magnesium, so they're all in order. Stick them to the side, because if you're doing this and you're just transferring over, filling these containers up, it's very easy to get mixed up. So I'm starting off with KH1. Now if you've got cold weather, as I've just noticed, we've got cold weather here at the moment, is, if I can find my torch, what you want to do when you've got dosing containers like this, you want to shine a torch in there and make sure that you've got a clear solution and it's not crystallizing at the bottom. Mine crystallized when I took this lid off earlier, and I put it up against the sump, which is nice and warm, and given it a good shake, and it's all nice and clear now. And that doesn't happen just with Modern Reef. I've had it happen with Reef Settlements. I've got an old Reef Settlements down here. That happened with that one. It crystallizes in cold weather, and Oceamo does it as well. It's nothing to worry about. Get them back up to temperature, bring them out of the cold weather, get them back up to temperature, and you'll be absolutely fine. Give it a thorough shake it well, each container, and and repeat the process until you get a clear solution. I don't think you'll be able to tell there, but oh yeah, there you go, it is clear now. You can see particles in it, that's absolutely normal. But what I'll do, I'll start one at a time and refill in the containers. Okay, so first things first, you want to switch your doses off, because when you've got the lines out you don't want to be sucking air up. So that's the first thing, you just need to switch your doses off. So I'm going to give this a nice shake up, make sure you can see, make sure it's not crystallizing like I just said. Don't get them mixed up. It's KH1, KH1. I know some people do it this way because they save on space. And there was another reason, I can't think what it was now. I did see on the forum there's another reason for doing this. I like these containers because they've got the clear window on the side so you can see when you're nearly at the top. As I say, these lasted me 69 days, which is about 2 months and 9-10 days ish, something like that. So it benefited me going over to the 7.7, but you can only do that if you've got a high demand tank. If you haven't, then you can have the blue buckets, the blue tubs they do, which are these ones for low demand tanks. Right, let's a bit more in there, only a tiny bit. I'll be storing this one inside now, so that's good. That's that one done. Right, if you are using this, just give it a swill after each one you do. Just swill it out with some water, like I'm just going to do here now. Preferably RODI water. Right, next one, KH2. Again, good old shake. I have looked in this one earlier just to see, I mean, it won't do now because there's loads of bubbles everywhere, but I did look in this and it's all totally clear. It's not been affected by the cold. Double checking I got the right one. So it's just so easy to just slip up and make a mistake. One of the things I've noticed whilst using Modern Reef is I got cyanobacteria all the time, regardless of a pH being 0.5 0.08, and my nitrates I think are at the moment about 20. So regardless of the red fill ratio, I still got cyanobacteria. Now, one of the things I've noticed is I get much less cyanobacteria. It hasn't totally gone, but my sand bed is nice and clear. So that's good. I've noticed, you know when you walk past your tank and you think, oh, that's different. Well, I've been noticing like small changes in the coloration of corals, which everyone has said anyway. I'm hoping when I start dosing Alicia that I start getting some polyp extension, but I think one of the reasons why I need to take a fish that's pecking at the corals out of the water, so that will happen pretty soon. But more coralline algae. Altogether the tank looks cleaner, and I'm thinking that may be down to good bacteria in the tank. That's my thinking behind it all. As we know, bacteria plays a really important role in a tank. Right, so where are we? So we got calcium, and next one's magnesium. That's the end one. Right. I'll just double check that it hasn't crystallized. No, that's perfectly, and this one's been out in the cold as well. That's absolutely perfect. Right, let's give it a shake anyway. If they're perfectly clear, still shake them before you transfer. Right, let's just give that a quick rinse. So yeah, I'm pleased, and I'm pleased they do a concentrated version as well. If I can save a bit of money and spend it on some corals, all good and well. Right, calcium. Can't see my window. If I had more space, I'll probably, if there's no issues, dose directly out the container, the black container. But this seems to be working out for me. Alright, that's the calcium done. Again, just stick that out of the way, right out of the way, so you don't pick it up twice. So the way Modern Reef works, dosing wise, so as you can see here, it's pretty simple. I've got these 4 containers here set up to my 4 doses here that go straight into my sump, and I aim for my KH to go, I like to keep it around 7.6. So in the morning it'll be 7.6, and then it will go down throughout the day, and at night it'll be like it is now, 7.03. But that will go back up overnight, and it seems to be working for me. So you don't want to go to the extreme where you go from say 7.5 up to 8.6. They don't recommend doing that. They say on here to keep it in a certain range. So you dose on the alkalinity you use, and it keeps all the other parameters in check. So what you use, you're replenishing on, judging on the kH you use, and it's working out really well. I've done some testing the other day. My magnesium's on the high side at the moment, but that's through my own mistake back in the summer when I was messing about with Calcasa. But I've gone over to this now, and it seems to be working really well. So that's basically, it's a nice simple system. You've got your 4 containers, your 4 doses. I've got an added advantage because I've got the AquaWiz here. So if my calculations are wrong on the alkalinity uptake, or my corals say today, right, I'm having a bad day, I'm not taking any alkalinity up, then these doses are still going to dose the same amount. If my alkalinity gets too high, let's say 8 for instance, so if this measures 8, it will send a message to my Apex, and my Apex will switch my doses off. It's a fail safe, to be honest. So, but that's an added advantage. You don't have to have the AquaWiz, but it's just an added advantage. What I will do is test your alkalinity daily at the same time, as I keep on telling my fellow reef that lives locally. If he's listening, he'll be laughing at this. Test your alkalinity daily, and once you fall into a routine, then you can sort of skip a day and maybe test it every other day, but try and test it at the same time if you can. Right, let's get the magnesium done. This one's a little bit, these two had a little bit more in them. This one seems to be maybe a little bit less, so maybe I'm going to, when I've finished, I'm going to recalibrate my doses. If you deplete unevenly, then by loads, it's not a good thing. So just recalibrate your doses. That's all you need to do, so they're all dosing evenly. Let's give that a wash. I can't remember if I washed that or not. Right, last one. Magnesium. 7.7. Right, let's give it a good shake. This one was clear, I think, as well. I was always shaking, as I said before, just before you put it in. So any particles or trace elements of floating may have settled. You want to give it a good shake and then add it in. Cack-handed here. I like the fact that, like other brands anyway, they've got all the trace elements in. But there's something else added in this that benefits the bacteria in the tank as well. It's got amino acids, your trace elements. Concentrate here before I overflow it. Oops, there you go. And the service is spot on as well. They're on WhatsApp. He gets back to you pretty much, you know, within a few hours. So really good service from them. I get really good service from the other. I like to make sure they're at the bottom. You could do something more elaborate here. You could put some stuffing glands on, drill out that, put a stuffing gland, and put this in there. But I've left it like that because if you do put a stuffing gland on and do that up tight, then you're going to end up with no air can get in when it's dosing. So you'll end up with an issue there. But it does me. So that's all done now. So I'm going to switch on my 2 doses. That's them 2 there. 2 units, 4 dosing heads, and they will go on their merry way. So there's a couple of other things I want to point out that I haven't yet. Now, if you're going to use Reef Elixir, you can only use that if you've got a high demand tank. If you haven't, the aquatics guy that I bought this from, Happy Reef in Canterbury, he said if you haven't, then you'll probably lose some corals. You'll probably overdose some elements in the tank. So if you're using this stuff, make sure you've got a high demand in the tank. The other thing is, like I said already, shake them. Even if it's not cold weather, shake these before you start dosing. And just, if you have got cold weather, shine a torch down there, make sure that it's not crystallized at the bottom. If it has, rest them up against the sump here, or your sump obviously, and let it get up to temperature. Give them a good shake, and then shine the torch in there. It should have fallen back into solution. But I'll be doing a part 2 video, the benefits of this, and I'm hoping it's going to give me some more coloration. The corals are colouring up pretty well now, and that's what I want to show you in part 2. I will go into the main display, the 600, and see the SPS. I'll let you know how they coloured up. You can see the corals for yourself, and I'm going to start taking some before and after photos and see the improvements this make, and hopefully I get some polyp extension as well. I think that's everything. If you enjoyed this video, please like. I'd like to know if you enjoy these videos, so please like, leave any comments below, and look out for part 2. Subscribe and look out for part 2. Thanks for watching.